In solitude, we find clarity. In solitude, we find ourselves. You find you when you are alone. We're never really actually alone if you are someone who believes in other realms and spirit guides and ancestors and even a higher power, source, God, goddess. When we think about how there are different planes and different levels of energy that are unseen, we're never really alone. But that being said, this can be our time with that source. This can be our prayer time. This can be our time with God. This can be our time with whoever you bow to. This is your time with your God. This is your time with your guidance. And there are so many gifts that are found here. There's so many gems, so many jewels, so much to receive, so many messages. And I talk about this quite often here. I talk about how there's so much beauty found in stillness, and when we create spaces for awareness, we can find so much power there, that we can find so much healing there, and we can change from this point of awareness when we create these spaces. But today, or in this moment, I want to just get a bit more detailed about the benefits, about why why it's even important, about what is found in solitude. I feel as though I can speak on this because I wouldn't necessarily identify as an introvert. I believe I have both components. I can thrive in both areas. I was raised an only child. I think that has a lot to do with it. Single mom, multiple jobs. I was alone a lot, or by myself a lot. And I learned how to be with myself. And I think that's carried on into my life now as a solo traveling digital nomad, when I can find my way in new environments and be with myself in whatever environment I find myself in. I think even before I started to solo travel this way, I've always been someone who was able to lock in and harness or enjoy my own company. And there are so many wonderful things that come from this place. There's so many wonderful things that come from both places, right? From being out and networking and meeting a bunch of new people and being around the right people and getting inspired by people, sharing ideas, flowing in that alchemy. But there's also the joy and the rarity and the preciousness of solitude that I think is important to talk about. When you can be by yourself, you get to know more and more of who you are, who you truly are, what you're thinking, sorting through those thoughts, collecting them, looking at them as though you're looking at a beautiful garden. When we allow ourselves to be with ourselves, it can be uncomfortable. It can be. But if you're willing to face that discomfort, there's so much beauty on the other side of that. If you can sit with whatever's icky, if you can sit with what doesn't feel good, you're stronger than you think. You're more powerful than you think if you can do that. When you have the luxury of time by yourself, you can decide what it is you want from that place. Do I want to make a cup of tea? Do I want to watch a scary movie? Do I want to sing and dance like no one's watching? Because that's a different kind of dancing. There's the dancing that you do when you're around people, and there's the dancing that you do when you're not around anyone. And that's a different kind of expression. Special, special time. When you allow yourself to be by yourself. From this place, your imagination can flow. From this place, you can create whatever you want to see without the influence of anyone else. It's just you and whatever has influenced you in the past thus far to get you to where you are. But from this place where you are in your luscious solitudeness, you can decide what it is best for you. Some of us have no idea what that is. Some of us go through great lengths not to be alone. I'm not naming any names. I'm not pointing any fingers, but we've all been there and we all have the capacity. Some of us will do whatever it takes to jump into a new relationship or jump into a social setting just so we don't have to be with ourselves. That, I believe, just in my heart of hearts, that's scary to me. It's scary when someone is not able to be in their own beingness, in their own space, with themselves, in their own thoughts. It's really powerful to be able to do that. The power that is there is where you're able to collect your gifts of receptivity, receiving answers to questions that you have from a higher place, from your meditations, from your prayers, from your telepathy, when we're able to strengthen the space that we have to receive divine guidance and not just the guidance that we impose upon ourselves. We become more in tune, we become co-creators, we are walking the way and not within our own sight and understanding. I preach about solitude and I talk about creating spaces for alone time over and over because I've lived it and I've seen the amazing works that it can do, the amazing opportunity that is there that you can't get with anything else. Anything. There's nothing in this world that can compare to having time for yourself. Period. There's so many gifts that are waiting for you there. There's so many gems that are only found when you give them the space to speak. When there are other influences, other people, other materials, other circumstances that make their way into your line of sight, whatever the truth is, whatever revelations can be found in the solitude of the time that you create for just you, they'll just be waiting for you. In a box of treasures at the bottom of the ocean with a bunch of seaweed on top of it, covered up, just waiting for you to dive deep and find it. I'm a firm believer that if there's something you really want in this world, you will create it. If you want it bad enough, you will find a way to make it happen. And what you believe has all the power. So if you're someone who believes that they just don't have the time and don't have the space, then you won't. It's that simple. If you believe that you are able to create even 1 minute of time for yourself in a space that you've created that is just for you, even that does a world of difference. Just that 1 minute. And maybe you can increase it to 5. Maybe you can increase it to 10 based off of the comfort that you start to feel in putting forth that effort and knowing that it's possible, maybe reaching a little further each time to create the space to receive, to create the space to have this time that is just for you, to get these gifts, to get these gems, to get the guidance that wants to speak to you, that wants to come down and tell you where to go, what to do, what feels good, what's something exciting to look forward to, a new idea that you didn't think of before to come down like a lightning bolt. I'm not saying that these instances are not possible to experience without solitude, but there's something so deeply special about having time for yourself that is quite frankly unique in its essence as well. And so we have to do our best. We just have to do our best with creating whatever that looks like, creating whatever space that looks like for you to just be with you and see what's there. See what comes up. Just face it. Just look and see. It's not going to kill you. I promise it won't. Unless, well, we won't even go there. But all this to say, I really encourage it. I encourage it for anyone who has been curious, who hears this message and feels a spark to go out and try something new, to go out and create a cozy space within your home that is your meditation space, or your maybe a break room, a break area that's just for you, or maybe you choose a time to take a break that no one else takes if you're around a bunch of people. Get creative. All of life is creativity. When you can find the time to not be influenced by social media, to be influenced by any screen, to be influenced by any person. In my experience, you can hear more, you can see more, things you didn't notice before. You can feel, you can make new choices that are your choices. There's so many beautiful things that come from taking control of your experience in this life by finding out what you want your experience to be when you are just with you. And I'll leave it at that. I hope this helped. I hope that this was an explanation that resonated with you and encourages you to find time today to be with yourself. I know it's tough. I live it every day. And there are days when it's hard for even someone like me who's out here preaching it to you. I have to remember to practice what I preach. When I come to a place and I feel overwhelmed and I feel like maybe I can't collect my thoughts in the way that I would like to, I have to force myself to find the time to just sit, to just be in my own space and see what comes of it, to just allow, right? Just breathe. And that is really the foundation for so much goodness. It's the foundation for so many realizations that were not there before, that were not, so many things that you may not have been able to interpret without the space, without the solitude, without giving yourself time. Give yourself time. Pay yourself forward in that way. And you won't regret it. In fact, you'll want to do it more often. So, find the time today. Let me know how it went. I'm always curious to see if you guys have implemented any of the ideas and advice that I'm giving you here. And if it's working out, please let me know. I need to know if this is ringing true for anyone out there. And I look forward to seeing that. I look forward to reading about your transformations and your enlightenment. And I also look forward to keeping this momentum up, to keep talking and sharing with you here. and just unfolding more and more so that we can grow and heal and glow in this life together. So until next time, I will see you on the next video.